Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, or whatever the actual charge is, but essentially for shooting a gun and hitting Meg. He's been sentenced to 10 years in prison for that. Of course, everybody had been waiting to see what was going to happen after Tory was found guilty, which to me, I admit, was still a shock, or was a shock then and is still a shock now. All we had to do was to see if he could, get a retrial or whatever beforehand, and once that was shown to not happen, wait on the sentencing. Some people were thinking that he might just get probation, get deported right away, since he is a Canadian and he's out here, I think, on a visa or whatever. So they would just deport him right away. Some people were talking about maybe 5 years. I know the DA was requesting 13 years. Some people were thinking the judge might go up to 13 but not pass it. But he was, I think, like 22 years he was at risk of having at the most, the max he could get for this crime. So when you look at it that way, the 10 is not that bad, but still 10 years is a long time to go, especially when you're an artist, and it's kind of hard to stay relevant, in this game with so many new people come in and so much music that's produced and put out to the public. Of course, right now, I think that's the last thing Tory's worried about. Of course, there were letters sent out, some, in support of Tory Lanez. One notable one was Iggy Azalea. All these letters were to speak of Tory's character. I think he had some people incarcerated that sent letters too. Meg sent a letter stating that she wanted Tory to be punished, and Tory had shown no remorse for shooting her. Meg said she hasn't had any peace since that day, or something to that effect. So, of course, Meg being a victim, that's a powerful statement. Tory, for what a lot of people said, was keeping up hope. He was being very hopeful that maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I think that 10 years, anybody would agree that 10 years in prison, even if you were at risk of 22, 10 years is still like you're happy. Happy I only got to 22, but dang, 10. Now, like I said before, I'm still not all the way there with people saying that Tory is guilty, or Tory being found guilty, but that's what it was. He was found guilty. So, I know the people who are celebrating today, and there's a lot of people that are going to be celebrating, happy that Tory got 10 years. Some people saying he should have got more. Some people probably going to be saying he should have got the max. But there are going to be people celebrating justice was served. Black woman got her, justice. Everything is right with the world. It may be. Like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff about this case. And I understand where people are coming from with the Meg thing. It's like, why would she lie about that? That'd be a crazy thing to lie about. And I agree. And when I see Meg crying and going crazy, I am like, why would she lie? And if she is, she's a great actress. And I want to believe her, but then I'm like, there's so much other than those things she's already been caught lying about. About being in a relationship with Tory, about Kelsey messing with Tory, about her and Kelsey arguing about Tory, about her tripping off of Tory coming up there to see what's her name? Kylie Jenner, about how they ended up in Tory's truck. It's like about arguments and fights, about her phone not being on, and then later admitting that she had to call, I think it was her manager or her whoever, like, in charge of her press or whatever. So there's so much that this is honestly confuses me. And if you want to get to the bottom of this case, why are you causing all these roadblocks, all this confusion? Now, has Tory been a little shady as well? Of course. The phone conversation he had when he was in jail talking to Kelsey, that was weird. The driver of that night not coming to like the last day of trial, and Tory saying he didn't want to have him prepped as a witness. He just wanted to go on with let the jury deliberate for the verdict. That was weird. Kelsey not knowing how she paid for her lawyer. That's weird. That whole Kelsey thing altogether, where she flip-flopped so much back and forth. First she was cool with Meg, then she started beef with Meg, talking about Meg, who really shot you, and all this other stuff. Then she came back and said no, it was Tory, and started saying Tory did all this stuff, and they recorded her. Then she came on the witness stand and said she lied about that, and Tory never did nothing. The witness testimony, while some people say that was cut and dry, I mean, he does say that Tory at one point had the gun in his hand, but he also says that it was a female firing a gun first. Kelsey was never checked for any of that. I mean, this to me, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go too far into this, but this is such a crazy story that we don't know what really happened. But the people who are standing for Meg, I get it. They are standing for a woman who has gone through a lot and who's suffering and is clearly still hurt. And the people who are standing for Tory, yes, a lot of them are just, women hating men who just don't want to see a man suffer for a woman, and this has become bigger than Meg. I get that. And to a degree, there are some women who this has become bigger than them too, and they just want a man to suffer. I can see that too. But a lot of what I'm hearing on the men's side, it is a lot about like how women lie and stuff like that. And I'm not tripping off of cases of women lying other places. I'm tripping off of this case, okay? There are people like me who just, honestly, this is confusing. And if you ask me, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't gotten enough information to say either way. But if you ask me, something else happened that night that everybody does not want to come out and say. And it's crazy that the driver, nobody's even reaching out, or maybe they are reaching out, but like, it's crazy the driver has not been pulled in to give any testimony. I mean, that's just how I feel. But yeah, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what we look at, regardless of holes at either side's argument, Tory's argument, Meg's argument, or Kelsey's argument, regardless of any witness testimony, what they did and didn't say, how it was misrepresented, how it was, represented, yada. Regardless of any of that, Tory's gonna have to do that bid. Maybe not complete, but he's got to go in jail. Now he is going to appeal, and he's already started that process. And if he appeals, and if the appeal is successful, all that means is another trial. Now, if he gets another trial and he has his lawyers working hard on this, is there a possibility they can get an offer on it? I think so. I think there's a possibility. I think there's enough confusion there. I think that you bring up a lot of that confusion and maybe try to, instead of trying to portray that maybe it was Kelsey, allude to it could be the Kelsey that shot Meg, maybe try to really show the flaws in the case, the flaws in the argument of how things are making sense. That might be a better defense, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so that's for Tory and his legal team to decide. As a fan, it hurts, sucks that I'm not getting any Tory Lanez music. Of course, obviously, if he truly is guilty, not just found guilty by the court of law, but like if he truly did it, then him serving time is way more important than me getting some new Tory Lanez music. I understand that. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit like, thing about Tory is he made so much music that, I got something to hold me over for a little while. When he gets out, if he does end up doing 10 years, which he's not gonna do whole 10 years, but he'll probably do like 7, 8, I don't know, however much time good behavior gets you off for, he'll probably do something like that. When he gets out, I think he'll still be able to have a career. His music was pretty much made for us grown people. I think he can still vibe with our age group just moving forward 7, 8 years later. I think he'll be cool. I'm definitely going to Canada. If he can't come back to the States, I'm definitely going to Canada if he's doing a tour out there. That's going to be hard. But yeah, man. This is like I said, a crazy case. Been following this since day one. This is where we come to. I at one point was sure we would not get to this point. I was proven wrong. We are here now, and unfortunately for Tory, he gambled and he took a chance, and if he had took a plea deal, he could have just sent back home to Canada and been a free man. Now he's incarcerated, and once his time is done, he'll be sent back home, and it'll be the same situation. But now he just had to do a little time. But hey, that was a chance he was willing to take, and I respect it. As far as the appeals, I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be looking at that, watching it, seeing what happens. And hopefully, we get hopefully we get another chance to, I'm not saying hopefully he gets found not guilty. I'm saying hopefully we get another chance to get another trial and revisit some of this evidence again. But that's my opinion. What do you think? Do you think that justice was served here? Are you happy with the time that Tory got? Do you wish he would have got some more? Do you think that what he got, the 10 years, was too much? He should have got less? Do you think that this was an injustice and Tory was wrongfully convicted, should be free, and hoping that he gets an appeal and another trial? And also, do you think that his career is over, or do you think he can come back after he gets out and have a second wave of his career that could be just as good or better, or maybe not even just as good, but still profitable?
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.